Well, Steve, good to see you. How's your summer been, first of all?
Well, after the disappointment, of course, like we all had, then it was time to just have a reflect on what might have been, and we were close. We weren't quite good enough on the day, especially in the first half, but overall the summer has been a bit of reflection really of what's gone on, and of course the fallout from not winning is there for everybody to see. So we'll have to deal with it and get on with it, but a difficult summer in the end because of what obviously has happened.
A lot's gone on. What have you thought of it from where you've been sitting?
Well, we all don't want that, do we? Because, you know, the one thing you want any football club is to move forward. And unfortunately, we're in this situation where we're in. So we have to accept it. And it's like anything in life, you have to accept the challenge. You don't quite necessarily like it, but we have to face up to the realities of financial fair play. Forget everything else. We have to address financial fair play, otherwise we're in trouble. Now that's the top and bottom to me. The easy thing would be to walk away from it and say, oh, I'm not having that. But I have enjoyed the last couple of years. It's a great club, and I'm determined to put it right if I possibly can and steer it back in the right direction. Won't be easy for all the supporters watching. Will not be easy at all, but it's something which I've thought long and hard about it, and one that I want to continue and try my best at it.
Yeah, the owners come out and address the fans, but for clarification, you remain as committed as ever?
Yeah, committed as ever. I've said it many times. I think it's a great football club, and it's gone through a tough time, and a lot of clubs do. It's not all about supporting the club and it's up here, you know, and I suppose Aston Villa fans have said now we've had a disappointing few years. So it's important that we address the facts, tell the truth, tell the supporters the way it is. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough and hard going. We might have to make sacrifices which we don't necessarily want to make. I might have to sell a couple of players that I don't want to sell for the sake of the club. We have to do it.
All that said, does the ambition remain the same?
The ambition will always remain the same because we're Aston Villa. With Aston Villa becomes an expectation. Expectation of the fans, the supporters will drive the club always. So we've got to still try and make a challenge if we can. Obviously it's going to be far more difficult than it perhaps was last year, but we've got to go with the same mindset. And can we wheel and deal? Can we sell a few, bring a few in, and hopefully with me experience it'll stand us in good stead.
That's very much the strategy then in terms of comings and goings?
Yeah. You know, as I said, there's going to be big decisions to be made, and ones where are not going to be popular. But for the ongoing of the club, we have to address one thing and one thing only. Forget everything else and ownerships and this, that and the other. We've got to address whoever's the owner of financial fair play. We're behind, and we have to try and address that if we possibly can.
Got a lot of youngsters here on tour. How much will you look to them now this season?
Well, do you know, last year we looked at youngsters to start with Andre Green, Keenan Davis. Big seasons for them. Hepburn Murphy is another one. You know, we've got a sprinkling of some very, very good young players. If there's ever an opportunity, it's now for them young players to come to the fold, and we'll give them the head. I've always said, you know, if you're good enough, you're old enough or young enough. So it's an opportunity for those young players especially to make the mark.
Switching to the football itself, how's camp been the last 4 days?
Yeah, the camp's been excellent. I've been here many, many times. The facilities are excellent. The lads have trained fantastically well. I couldn't have asked for anything more, you know. They've trained fantastically in really, really hot conditions, which can only be a good thing. So let's hope that stands us in good stead.
What are the key objectives now this week, building into those friendlies that begin at the weekend?
Well, the thing is that we've already picked up 2-3 knocks with the young kids. 2 or 3 of them have unfortunately had to go home. The big thing about pre-season, we've just been back a week, is when the season starts, having everybody as fit as they possibly can, in as good condition as they possibly can. And that's the aim of the next month. Can we get them as good a condition that they can possibly be in, and be as fit as they can?
What were your thoughts when the fixture list was announced a couple of weeks back?
Inevitable. I think we played them the first game of last season too. How often does it draw up? But you know, it was a long time ago. I've been at the club approximately 20 months now, so You know, all I'm interested in is us. We've got a tough start. You know, Hull away is never easy. As we know now, the last couple of years, the Championship's not easy. So we have to meet the challenge head on. Tell the truth as it goes. You know, just to get ready for a rocky time. Batten down the hatches. Let's try and move the club forward. And for the supporters, I've always said the support is invaluable. If ever we need them, is right now the club needs them more than ever.
Yeah, they'll be there in their
Thousands
again. What would you say to them at this point?
Well, you know, when I was asked, you know, would I like to stay on, it's the pleasure of managing a big club like ours, even though it's in a little bit of bother at the moment. You know, it's still a wonderfully fantastic big club. You only become a big club when you have a big support. And to us to have 30-odd thousand last year on average is quite unique and fantastic. So to each and every one of them, keep supporting the club. I will certainly do my best and see if we can find a way forward.
And looking at your career as a whole now, where does this new challenge rank?
Do you know, I've had challenges before where, you know, as he said last year, we didn't really spend an awful lot of money. You know, it's the challenge of managing, and it's easier. Don't get me wrong, when you've got a little bit to spend, there's not a lot in the coffers at all. So we have to get on with it. We have to be cute, and we have to try and see if I can find a Harry Maguire, a Robertson, a Klukas, what we took to Hull. People like that, they're out there, and that's got to be the remit.
Just a few individuals to finish. You mentioned there's a few going home. Mitch Clark, Rashan amongst them.
Yeah, Rashan, unfortunately, he's twisted his ankle today. Mitch Clark, we're not so sure. We'll give him another 24 hours. McCurdy, unfortunately, twisted his ankle yesterday morning. So I think it's better to go and get them x-rayed and scanned back in the UK. So I think that's what we'll be doing.
And Albert's arrived today.
Albert's arrived today. We haven't got three of the lads who played in the World Cup. They'll all join us on the 21st, I think it is. So it's important for they have a rest. But Albert's joined us today because obviously he didn't finish until a week after the playoff final.
And Scott Hogan, where's he at?
Scott Hogan's got a bit of a groin, and he had it most of the summer. So we've decided to leave him at home and get treatment. And let's hope he can make a bit of a recovery in the next week, 10 days, and put him to his paces as well.
Just lastly, new season upon us. Looking forward to it.
Well, it's always. I've been in it a long time. There's nothing quite like a new season. You know, pre-season's practically over in 3-4 weeks' time. Let's get cracking. Let's enjoy the ride if we possibly can, and get ready to try and make a challenge.